What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training. And today we're going to be breaking down 2 ways wide receivers can beat a DB who is stronger than them. So we're going to be talking about 2 different situations against a press coverage DB who maybe will lunge at you and try to get hands, and also just a DB who's going to be patient but be physical at the same time. So I hope this video helps you guys out. I know a lot of you have been asking questions about this. So again, I hope this brings you some value. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want to improve your route running skills and you want to know the exact drills you need to do on a daily basis for that, check out that very first link in the description below for our 8-week wide receiver on-field workout plan. It's an 8-week daily schedule with the exact sets and reps wide receivers need to do with a video example of each drill. There's over 200 plus wide receiver drills broken down into this 2-month program. So I hope you guys could check that out. Very first link below. Let's get started with this video. So first things first here, this is Jalen Reagor running this like fade route, right? So this fade route, again, DB is much bigger than him. And we are on there's a smaller looking wide receiver. So anytime that I'm in this situation where this guy's going to try to get hands, maybe try to be physical, or he's just flat out stronger than me, which is what this video is about, I need to have a plan of action, but I need to know my game is not going to be hand fighting with this guy. My game is not going to be, okay, let's close the space and let's try to swat his hands. Let's give him a shock release. My game is going to be using range. And what I mean by range is kind of forcing this DB to have to make a decision where if he's going to want to come at you and get hands, he's going to come at you, but we're going to be in a good spot to where I can react. Or if he wants to sit and stay disciplined, I have enough range to make a move or to make something happen. So Reagor decides to go with this like slide, release, and go, right? This slide and go release, as we like to call it. So when you guys are working a route and this DB's lined up, he's taught a lot of the times whenever he sees this slide release to the outside, stay disciplined to the inside, expect the slant route. Because usually when wide receivers slide to the outside, they're trying to give a crossover and run a slant or try to cross your face. They're trying to get you to play the fade and jump to the outside. Now, Reagor does a great job of keeping range with the DB. And what I mean by range is attacking off the line at like a 45-degree angle. So when he comes off the ball, it's very slow tempo, but it's at a 45. There's some space between the two of them. Because now if this DB's stronger and he wants to try to use it and try to get hands on me, he has to come at me. I'm at such a good range off the line that he has to address me and try to get hands. So you doing that slide release like there kind of forces him, he puts him in a bind. If he's going to try to sit disciplined and play the slant and sit to the inside like he's taught, that gives up the fade. If he wants to jump to the outside and try to be physical, okay, I could run the slant. Now, again, I'm not saying you could change up the play, middle of the play, obviously middle of the route. You can't change the route middle of the play, but that can set up something in the future. If he wants to play this thing where he gets super physical and lunges at you, okay, fine. I could do this slide release next time I have a slant, make it look the same, react a different way, and run a slant. So it's all relative. It's all based off of building your releases together and keeping a good range. But because he slides, because he makes it look the same, because he keeps that range, he's able to get him by a step. And now it's a foot race. And when that DB is usually on the stronger side than us, we probably have him in the quickness aspect. So if I could just get a step or two on this guy, I should win every single time. And he can run a whole lot of routes right here. He could run a short vertical, run a comeback, run an out route, or just run this straight up goal line fade and catch that thing over the top. That is a textbook example of using range, and that is one of the best ways that wide receivers can get separation against a bigger, stronger guy. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job sliding, taking off vertical, and winning that race back to the outside. So now, second clip I want to talk about here is a DB who's trying to get physical right off the get. What if he's stronger than me? A lot of people ask me this question, Coach, what if I got a guy, and we talk a lot about leverage, right? So you hear me talk a lot about, okay, when he's inside shade, you want to attack him this way. When he's outside shade, you want to attack him this way. Now, what if he's right up on the line, right in my face, and I have no space to operate? There's a couple things you could do, and that's what we're going to discuss today. So this example is an example of the step back release. So the step back is something that I'm not the biggest fan of for every situation. I do like it, but it's not something I necessarily work on with my guys. It's more of like just a tool that we have in our back pocket. So let's play this thing full speed. This DB right off the line tries to jam. Wide receiver does a great job of stepping back and getting up into the route and making this play happen. That is what you have to do with the step back. So the step back release has been widely overused. DBs will come up to the line. They try to jam. Guys will do this step back. And the reason why I don't like the step back all the time is because it doesn't attack vertical. You are going backwards. So if you're going backwards, that means that the DB is technically doing his job for that split second. He is disrupting the timing and disrupting the spacing of the route. By you not getting off the ball, that can screw up the timing with the quarterback. So be very careful when you decide to use this step back against a stronger physical physical guy. But when you take this step back release, this wide receiver gets away with it because he just goes. He does not step back and try to do all this dancing behind the line of scrimmage. He steps back, reads how the DB is going to be playing him. That DB is giving him the outside release. Okay, fine. I'm going to take the outside release. When you guys do that step back release, fellas, we cannot step back, dance, do all these moves side to side because that's just going to take way too long. And that DB is going to do his job without even having to get hands on you. So when you step back, make sure that we just get up into the route fast. Now, a couple other things that we could do, a couple of tricks that you guys can learn when you're in a one-on-one situation like this. I don't necessarily like to talk a lot about one-on-ones because it's not real football. At the end of the day, it's not full pads. It's not 11 on 11. There's no threat of a run. There's no snap count. So what are some things you could do if maybe because again, it's that camp time of year where everybody's going to college camps, camps like mine where we do, like more position-specific work and we'll do one-on-ones. What do you do in this situation where that guy's right on your face? A couple things you could do is step off the ball. Right? That automatically gives you some more space against a stronger guy. Because like in the beginning of this video, we talked a lot about range and having some space between the two of you to operate to where if he wants to get hands, he has to address you. If he wants to stay disciplined, he's giving you some space and that can allow me to work a move. So when you come up to the line, nobody said that you always got to be on the ball. Especially if it's one-on-ones. That's why one-on-ones isn't realistic because a wide receiver can come up to the line, a DB's right on that thing, pressed up, almost touching heads, and a wide receiver can literally take a step off the ball and give himself more space. And whatever, they might call you soft, they might say whatever you want, but it's just smart football because if they're going to treat it unrealistic, guess the snap count and get hands right away, then we're going to treat it unrealistic too. I'm going to step off the ball and I'm going to give myself more space. So that's one thing you could do in a one-on-one 7-on-7, well, not so much 7-on-7, but a one-on-one type situation when you're facing these physical guys. Our one-on-one videos always, tend to get a lot more views because, people are curious about it. People are always putting one-on-one situations in the off season. And you got to be able to beat that situation to play at the next level. But you got to make sure it's realistic and you got to make sure you give yourself space. Because if you just walk right up the line and that DB's guessing the snap count, it is very, very tough. So let's play this thing again full speed. So a step back release is something you could use, or maybe step off the ball, create some more space for yourself when you're in a one-on-one setting. When it's a real game, obviously, if the slot is off, you have to be on the ball if you're that outside receiver and vice versa. Let's play this thing again full speed one more time. Great job with the step back. Not wasting time with the step back and then getting up into this route. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. Always great to hear from you guys as usual. And again, fellas, if you'd like an 8-week wide receiver on-field workout plan, over 200 plus wide receiver drills for route running, press releases, hands, explosiveness, the works, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.